So yeah, I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Yesterday, 3 years ago, is when I started the podcast. Amazing. I think all of you are here because you've been part of that journey, or of course your family, friends, part of our network. So I'd just like to thank you again for coming. It's been an interesting journey. It's been a podcast it's been an idea that's been in my mind since 2019. Of course, I started at 8th January 2020 in the airport residential area. My first guest was Adrian. He was actually here earlier. We didn't catch him, but it was nice to see him and anyone. But yeah, this has been a crazy journey. This podcast is something that was a random brainwave. You realize on YouTube there's so much content about Ghana on YouTube, but there was nothing really in the podcast space, so I decided that I'll fill that gap. And then since then, I think we've done pretty well. I mean, I think we're on almost 100, episode maybe 110. Episode 110. Season 4 is out right now. Thank you. Season 4 is out right now, sponsored by Home Naturals. These guys here are sponsoring season 5, Suberry, which is great. That's why I get here. So it's been an interesting journey. I didn't expect it to kind of like have the impact it's had across the world. I mean, there's so many stories I can tell you about this podcast, but I think one of the stories that I'll never forget is a gentleman called Kevin Brereton. He was a season 2 finale, 5 times world champion kickboxer, Hollywood actor, and now an author. I think he wrote a book called The Half African Champion. And what he reached out to me, filled in the website form, and said, "Hey, Adrian, my name is Kevin Brereton. I live in LA. I'm XYZ, but my mama is English, but my dad is American. So my dad is Ghanaian. I've been on this journey for many years trying to find my father, but I can never find my father. But I somehow came upon your podcast. I love to come on your podcast to tell my story." That really like kind of rocked me. I was like, wow, like this guy randomly found the podcast and he kind of found a connection of it. So of course, season 2 finale was based on that. And he had calls from around the world, and it was a really good episode. And funny enough, I think just a few weeks ago, he went on TED Talks and he told us the exact same story in Newcastle in England that we have on the podcast. So if you guys want to check it out, just go on YouTube. So yeah, it's been a fantastic journey. I just want to thank everyone who's been part of that. Yasmin, thank you for the partnership you had for season 3. I mean, I think this is my first time recording in Ghana, and teaming up with you using Africa Global Radio Studios was a pivotal part of that, so thank you. Frank and Ivan, thanks for coming on the podcast. I think our episode did really well. We've had so many inquiries. We had people from all the way from the States come in to Ghana because of that. It's been excellent. Ekua, thank you for being part of Podcasters Unite, being part of the community and continuing to encourage me. Looking forward to having you back on the show in season 5. Adrian, thank you so much for guiding London as your network. I've had so many guests, Yankee, Maurice, the list goes on and on. Thank you for being such a super connector. Please connect with Adrian if you don't know about Ghanaian Londoners. Fantastic network. James, of course, thank you so much for all of the introductions you've done for me, all the support, all of the tips, all of the tweets I've been able to do from where I started to where I am now. And you've been there since university, so thank you so much. Kojo, thanks for coming in season 1. Holiday helper. Keep flying, keep traveling, keep doing what you're doing. Darren, thanks for coming in season 3. Thanks for approaching me coming in season 3. That was even a surprise. And I think your episode really took the podcast on another level, so thank you so much for coming on. And to everyone that's here tonight, thank you so much, and long may it continue. Thank you. So, I don't have much, but there's a cake over me, so with the podcast no money. I love that. There's many